tuning into the second episode of Strictly Crossfade Podcast. The Strictly Crossfade Podcast. I hope you enjoyed the first episode. This episode here, we're just gonna throw out some things we're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about the DJ struggle. Talk about some cultural DJ culture things. Um, Talk about some stuff that was personal for me, and then let's get into it. First thing, I always want to talk about is named Strictly Crossfade podcast. If you didn't understand that, that's and when I say crossfade, that's the lever that's on the mixer. It's the lever that goes from east to west. That's the fade bar. That's the crossfade. That's bringing the sound in, or taking the sound from one turntable, which is on maybe the right or left, over to the other turntable, which is either on the right or left, or whatnot. So that just cut the power off of one table, bring it to the next one. So that's like in your mix, you're mixing from one song or one sound, and you're blending it in. You're blending the other turntable in, bringing the sound in, and as you're moving it across, the sound from the one you're moving from is decreasing and the other one is increasing. So that helps out your blend right there. So that's 101 of what crossfading is. Okay. So like I said, my name is Bobby D. When I used to DJ, when I was out actively DJing, I was DJ Bobby D. I was a mobile DJ. I have I've been in different rap groups. I've had one rap group that was a little prominent than others. It was we're still underground. It's a group called Shabash 3. I've done punk rock music. I've written songs. So I'm a card carrying member of BMI ASCAP. For writing. I've done I've been around the gamut of the music industry. I've done a few things. So yeah. So, but I hailed here from Dallas, Texas. I've made it up to New York a few times. Been out to California, out to LA. I've been pretty much all over the U.S. I've done music. Music has taken me a lot of different places, up to Canada. I've done the festivals. The North by Northwest, North by Northeast, the South by Southwest. The Jack the Rapper, just the different little traveling festivals that come across the Midwest and all that. So, me and my group, we've tailed in on a few of those before. So, I've been doing music for a while. So, and it was pretty much I've done a lot of I guess the struggle. If there is a chitlin circuit for music, I mean for like hip hop artists, I know, or DJs or something like that, and I've definitely been on the chilling circuit pretty much a good portion of my career. So there's one thing that I've always seen and I've always thought about and I thought was fascinating. I really don't know. I couldn't tell you when DJing and whatnot when it started. How old that is or whatever. But I can tell you, I guess when I started liking it, or when I thought it was good, I guess around the '80s. But you see those old documentaries and whatnot. You see they're doing it in the park, doing it in the park. Oh yeah. You see the old New York documentaries. They're like they bring out the table and the guys out there, just with his friends, and then everybody's playing basketball. Then they all run out, and then they're jamming at the park like all night and all day. I've heard those. I've seen those little documentaries, and I've heard those stories, and that seemed like that was wonderful. I've never experienced anything like that, but I have experienced my version of that, or I'll say a down south version of that. My uncle, I'm from I guess a musical family. My uncle, Alvin James May, he was a DJ also. He was a mobile DJ. I mean, he was known. He used to work for the post office, and he would always do the post office parties and whatnot. So and that was like a big thing, So he always had paying gigs, or he would do. I have a real big family. He would always do my family's family reunions. We would all go back to East Texas every year, and there's hundreds of us, and we would have we have a big get together. My family owns like a ranch and whatnot, so we have a big area, and there's a lot of cousins and stuff like that. And he would always pack up the truck and everything, and take equipment out there, and he like all the real stuff. He had the concert speakers and the big professional amps and stuff, and had his tables, and had his records. Now, this is back when DJs will have records in the crates, good old days. And I would go with him. We would ride all the way down there. We would do that, and I didn't know, but he was kind of grooming me when I was young, even before I started DJing. But when I started DJing, that's when when I started myself, he kept right along, grooming it. But when he was doing it, I didn't even think to start trying to. I mean, just I'm gonna be a DJ then. I was still trying to figure out what I want to do, but just watching him also, and then when I finally made the decision, he stepped in a little more, took me under his wing, and then he would do stuff like he would come to he'd come to my house early in the morning, like on a weekend or something. It'd be like maybe Saturday or Sunday, or more like a Sunday. He'll come like maybe like 7 in the morning, 7 a.m. or 6, real early, and he'll wake me up like, hey, get up, nephew, get up, nephew. He's like, what you want to do it at today? We had this thing that anytime he wanted to go jam at a park or whatever, he'll let me DJ. So he'll get me up and we'll decide on, where we want to go, and then the choices where we can go to any of the projects or like any of the, like I guess like good hood areas or whatever. So, either north, south, east, or west, Dallas projects, or or whatever the big apartment complexes that are next to recreation centers or whatever in Dallas. Just say I roll a dice or something like that, or flip a coin or something, just to see where we're gonna go. Just say, boom, we're gonna go to East Dallas projects this weekend or whatever today. So, get up, get dressed, get ready. The truck is already packed and everything, because he had everything packed up when he came over. And we'll get in the truck and we'll drive, to the projects, super early in the morning. We'll go have breakfast with them first, then go over there, pull up on the side where the wreck is, and he'll back the truck in, and we'll put the speakers down, hook up the amp. I'll put the turntables on the bed, put the records all in the bed to where I can grab them. And then my uncle, he'll just either sit inside the cab part or just sit his chair on the side or whatever, pour himself a drink, make sure his little pistol's right there. And he'll just like, okay, let's go. And then I'll turn the music on and I'll just start jamming. It's just like, we'll start early in the morning. I just start jamming, boom. Just whatever, Two Live Crew, whatever, just get it going. And I kid you not, maybe by the time it gets to about maybe 2, 3, 4 o'clock or something like that, there's 1,000 people out there. There's 1,000 people at the park. I mean, and everybody knew who we were. They come down, they party, they hang out, and just jam. And my uncle had a lot of the old school records and stuff like the Cameo and SOS Band and stuff like that. Just like some good old funk and stuff. And I would just and I would just earn my wings, getting my chops and everything, just DJing, just playing music, mixing it up, just working on the mixes and whatnot. And then my Uncle Ricky was older than me. He was my uncle. My Uncle Al's my uncle from my father's side, and my Uncle Ricky's my uncle from my mother's side. And he'll come down too, because he was a DJ. And he'll come down and he'll jump in for a couple of hours, and we, all day. We leave there. It'd be nighttime, sometime, and then sack everything up or whatever, get it all, boom, 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 and then we'll go home or whatever. He'll go drop me off, or we'll go drop off equipment or whatever, and then that's what we did for that day. So that right there, that was kind of like, I guess, a down south version of doing it in the parks. It's like, I'm sure that the New York experience was similar to that, but that was the third coast, the Texas version of it right there. All right. Yeah, and then like I say, I want to talk a little bit about DJ culture. There's a few things like I think I mentioned it on the last episode that like being a DJ is definitely something that you have to be born into. I really believe that. I don't think you can learn to be a DJ. You can probably learn how to mix the records or how to count out the BPMs and put on a stick and put on a record, and knowing that, and you can learn like what the one is, what the two, three, or the four is, snares and stuff like that. You can probably learn that stuff, but when you're actual DJ and you're actually you're in the mix, man. There's so many instinctive things that just happens, and you gotta it's like you gotta feel it. It's just like it's like being a Jedi. It's like the Force. You can feel it. It's like it's like the art. It's like an art. It's the art of knowing what the next song should be. It's like you always got to know what the next song is. You got to know that. You got to know that because, I mean, nobody's gonna teach you that. You have to know that. You have to know music and listen to music. You have to see how people are responding to it. If you see people out there that are dancing and whatnot, you see what they're getting into, and trust me, it's nothing that you like is what they're dancing to. I mean, it's half the music you're playing. It's stuff that you would never listen to, but you got to have it and you got to play it because you're doing that to bring entertainment and joy to them, and even if you're trying to get paid and stuff too. So the goal is is never for you. The end result and stuff is for you. Maybe the credit, the notoriety and all that stuff you get out of it, and the credit and and money and all that stuff. That's for you later, but when you're in the mix of it, when you're in it, man. That's for the listener. That's for the person out there that's dancing. That's for them. And I had to learn that lesson a few times, the hard way a few times. I mean, just DJing with certain people, and just say you DJ with a partner of yours or whatever, and you can see right when they start playing it, they're going wrong. It's like, oh man, I mean, don't change the groove like that, and don't drop it in like that, and don't why are you playing this song? And these people don't want to hear that, it's just like you gotta know, and then like that fits kind of into the culture, like when I call myself a, definitely a crossfade DJ, because and that's more of like a studio thing, right? That's more of like a, when you're cutting or whatever for recording. Crossfade has the smoothest sound, opposed to the switch that you click at the top. It just sounds a little sharper, but it sounds a little more mechanic, I think. But then there's a such thing as a mix DJ. And then there's a scratch DJ. There's I consider myself more of a mix DJ than a scratch DJ, and I'll explain those to you. Like a mix DJ is all about the groove. All about, the bass line playing and, and the beat, changing the music seamlessly, just keeping the groove going, keeping the people out there dancing, keeping it going, and then there's a cut DJ, which they're both equally important, but a cut DJ, how do I explain it? A cut DJ does more cutting, scratching and whatnot. Now, a cut DJ can be good if a cut DJ gives more. I mean, it's more of a mix DJ than a cut DJ. If he's more of a cut DJ than anything, then it's going to be those kind of DJs are more prominent in like underground hip hop events and things like that. I guess events where there's more guys, I guess, than girls, because it's just cut DJ wants to show you what he's learned. It's like if you ever went to a hip hop show, or whatever, you walked in. And it's like a sword fence. It's like, but it's like, there's like 100 guys along the wall. And then there's a couple girls and stuff sprinkled in there also. And they're pretty much on the wall too. And the DJ's playing music, but he's on the stage and he's like, he's showing everybody, his new cuts and how he's been practicing 15 hours for this new flare cut or whatever, or this crab cut, whatever he's trying to do. And he's giving it all to you right then and there. And it's like, there's really no just cohesive groove that's going, that it's just there's a beat playing, but it's just he's cutting and whatever, because it's like he's trying to cut his way into your heart, I guess. And it's just like, and it's, a lot of times I'm just like, no, man, people didn't pay for that, It's like, that's kind of stuff you see on video. You don't go to the club to see, a cut DJ. Maybe if that's their act, then yeah. But if I was a club owner, man, I wouldn't pay for cut DJ to run my people out of there. That's kind of like the difference between like those two or whatever. But I think a mixed DJ is more of a is better for a club setting or a party or something like that or whatnot. And then it's just and I've DJed on and off with different people, and it's just like you can just see it go wrong, and it's like that's why I say that most of the time, man, the DJing is something that you got to be born with. You got to be born with that, just with that groove. Just like okay, you can you can like I said, if you incorporate cutting with with the groove, like you're jamming and you break it over too, what I'm saying? And that's how the story goes. Boom, and the beat kicks in. You can probably bring it back. That's how the story goes, and then just let it go. But that's it. That's enough. You don't stop that for 5 minutes. It's like until you get it perfect. It's like you're practicing. It's like And there's a real good DJ that I learned a lot from. A real good friend of mine, DJ Baby G. He's a Texas DJ. When I met him, he was he's here in Dallas, and I think he lived in Irving at the time, but I think he's moved further south. But yeah, I met him around early '90s or whatever, and that right there, man, that was a good DJ right there. That's one of the few DJs that I used to watch that could incorporating cutting and mixing and all that, into a show. It's like, it's like he's not doing it to where it's a spectacle where you're just gonna watch him put on a show or whatever. It's like you can dance and you can groove, with your girl or whatever, and it's not gonna break y'all up. He's not gonna stop your groove or whatever. It's like he kind of mastered that, and one of the lessons that one thing that he had taught me that I can share with you guys today, man. Now let me give you a little backstory. Now when I used to Mobil DJ with my boy Gilbert, DJ G Wiz, when I was with a lot of boys, we used to go to the gigs, man. We'll roll into the gigs, with our turntables and amp and everything, and we rolling out with like 15 strong crates, just ready to go. We gonna jam all night. We got everything with us, And by the time we break down and leave, it takes about an hour and a half to load up everything and get out of there and all that stuff. And that's what I do. That's what I knew of DJing. You roll in with your records because you don't know what you're gonna play. You know what kind of crowd you're gonna have. You got an idea of what you're gonna have, but you don't really know until you get to playing. You get to fishing a little bit. And you start seeing what people what they're in the mood for. Baby G taught me this one lesson, man, and I'm gonna share this with you guys. And I used to think that it was at Club Trees that they showed me this, but no, it was this club called Exodus. It was an underground hip hop club we used to have here in Dallas, down in Deep Ellum back in the days. And I used to always see George roll in, man. He always rolled in real light, boom boom with his stuff. Get on, he'll get on, get going. It took no time for him to get ready. And he was telling me, that I need to learn how to DJ with one crate. And I'm like, one crate? Because even when I used to come to my shows, when me and my hip hop group used to perform, I roll in with at least 5-6 crates. I'm just this is just to do our set. To do our 15, 20, 30 minute show or whatever. Because I'm like, you never know what may happen that I might gotta start jamming. I never know. I always want to be ready. And then this whole art of one crate, and I'm just thinking and I was asking about it. I'm like, well, how do you know what what kind of crowd you're gonna have and what you're gonna play and whatever? And he's just like, man, that's all part of it. That's part of DJing. You have to. It's like you have to keep in mind those certain records that are probably like you look at all your records. You may look at like maybe 5 or 6 crates. Out of those 5 or 6 crates, there may be 5 records or 6 records that you're really just switching between, to grab or whatever. At certain times, you got like 5 or 6, or maybe up to maybe 10 that are just solid gold. Period. No matter what, those are gonna get played. That's what when you dig into your records or whatever, you're looking for those records. Looking for those records. When DJs are going through their crates and trying to find a certain record, they're looking for those particular records. So once you recognize those, start keeping those together. Keep those together. Condense that down to one crate. And I was just thinking about that. And I've seen George do it, man, plenty times. I mean, this guy would DJ 2 or 3 hours, and he wouldn't play the same song twice because he knew his records. He knew the crowd. He knew how to do it. And it's like, and that was amazing to me. And I had to learn that. You get your good instrumentals and stuff together. You don't have to get all 40 of them. You get your good 10, a solid 10, different tempos and whatever. You never know. You might have a rapper and something that might want to rap or whatever. So you get your different BPMs together from your 86 to your 94s, 90, whatever it is. You go up to your 110s, go all the way down to your 92s, whatever. And just get those together. And then you get like the, whatever the hit songs are right now, whatever the good grooving or whatever. You get those few records, put those together. Definitely got to get that one that, what everybody really came to hear. You get that and a couple of those or whatever. You may have a couple records that just have like all the hit songs on them or whatever. You get those together, and then you can switch it up a little bit. Like if you may have some Latin stuff or whatever. Just say, you never know. You may have some salsa, dancers that want to dance tonight, dance on bachata, cumbias or whatever. Then you get the jams. You know what I'm saying? You grab I know the Elvis Crespo. I guess if you like salsa or whatever, or you can or get you some cumbias performers or some aventuras or whatever for bachata, whatever. Just you grab those records. You have to grab everybody. You grab a couple of some of the hit songs or whatever, and you get it to where you get that one crate full of anything you put on is a jam in there. So that way, but see, I'm talking about old school stuff. This is like back when DJs carried crates or whatever. But yeah, and that's pretty much what a lot of the stuff that I speak about is about. This is around the glory years that I figure I call them of DJing, and that was and I really appreciate that brother for even teaching me that how to. I never mastered it down to one crate. I think the closest I've got is to like a 1.5 crate, maybe like 2 crates. Because I like a lot of options. So, but yeah, and that stopped me from having to bring the 15 crates and all that stuff. And it's like and then Serato and stuff came and stopped me from bringing anything, just bringing your hard drive or whatever. But yeah, Serato is something that we'll talk about later. Down the road. This is my second episode. I'm not ready to talk about Serato yet. We'll talk about Serato way down there. Right now we're still in the glory years and the glory days of DJing. Back when you character building, it's like DJ, the record's gonna end in 15 seconds, or you have a bad needle. Back when you have to have a penny or something on your needle, you can afford the $100-some Orfont needle. You have to have the one that came with the turntable, or you have a bent needle, and you need just stuff that obstacles you had to overcome in order to keep what you were doing, or you barely figured out that you could take the sleeve inside of the record, the plastic one, you can cut that into a circle and use that as a scratch pad and stuff. It's just like there's a lot of DJ struggle things that you have to overcome and you have to learn and whatnot. One of the main struggles, man, that definitely that I had to overcome, and I don't feel glad, or I don't feel pride in about what I had to do in order to get records. I just couldn't, I couldn't afford them, and I needed them, but I couldn't afford them. So I had to take chances, and I had to, and what I did, I guess, I definitely committed a crime in order to get my records, and I do apologize for that, and and I hope by me doing this podcast, this is just me just airing a lot of stuff out. But no, and then like one of the struggles, one of the things that had to do is like I would go in a record store because if you're a DJ or whatever, you could I was a recording DJ also, so I had a hip hop group, so and I had to find cuts, and the cuts are like something to scratch during the chorus of the song or the interlude or whatever, to because we're artists, we're putting our songs together, so we had to find these little bitty pieces of material to fit on these songs and whatnot to complete them. So I used to go to the old record stores, and I used to surf, for records, and I made it. It was like an art, man, of how to get records. You would go in, you would find, and I will say, somebody said that if you look for old records and there's a naked woman on the cover, that's a jam. And I will tell you that is true. There's always cuts and things and records with naked women, especially if it's a naked black woman. Boom. But anyway. So I would go and I would look through, the old crates, of at the record stores and whatnot. You would find a record that you really wanted, like some, it's like, so you couldn't really listen to it in the store or whatever. So you would have to take a chance. You would actually have to read the record labels and stuff that you had in order to know who was good and who wasn't good. You had to know who was producing or who did what. That would, you would have to learn that. You would know if it had Quincy Jones on it, if he was anywhere in the mix, that's something you wanted, or Billy Cobham, if you're looking for some drum beats and stuff, or just all these different names that that you would have to remember. And you find a Billy Cobham record or whatever, Spectrum, which was one of my favorite, and then the person that owns the record store, that's like one of their favorites too. They know that that's full of, it's got songs on it like Red Baron and stuff, so it has a lot of different cuts and beats on there. So, and then they may price it like at $7.99, and you're like, oh man, I can't afford that, or even a little higher or whatever. So, I would take that record. I would go find some shit, that that wasn't about none, some old folk music stuff that wasn't really about none that I didn't really know anything about. It could have been some jewels on there too. I would take that record and I would swap them out on the insides. I was, put the really dope thing inside with the whack record. Or if it was a double record, one of those would be one of the dope records that I want in there, and I would get a couple of those. And so, then you go up to the counter, and then the guys like ring you up. So a lot of times they'll look at the record, they'll take the record out and look at it, make sure it matches the sleeve and whatever, make sure somebody like me wasn't switching them up or whatever. But I mean, I'm a master of gift to gab. It's like, and I like comic books and stuff like that too. So I would ask a lot of questions. I would come up with a couple comic books, and I would ask them about as I'm being rung up. So now they just want me to just hurry up and get the hell out of here because this kid is talking to them much. So they'll just start ringing up the records or whatever, and they just get you out of the way, whatever. Boom, boom, boom. You leave out of there. You spend $10. For like $40 worth of records, and then you get those, and you take them home or take them to the studio where you're going, and then you pop them on the turntable, and your boy samples them and chop them up, and boom, you scored. And I used to do stuff like that in order to get cuts and whatnot. But like records, like hip hop records or whatever, I couldn't afford the record pools. Record pools used to be there used to be a guy that works with the record labels, and he would get all the records for you, everything you need or whatever. You just give him X amount of dollars a month, and then and he'll give you all these hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of mostly bullshit, but there'll be some jewels in there, and and it's like and I tried that before, but I couldn't. The record pool guy always lived outside the city, and it's always like a hassle to get your records and stuff. And then and then they call you so much, and then it's always it's like always a hassle. So instead I would I would go to the local records record radio station that's like in the neighborhood, like the little local one or whatever. And I mean, I would go through the trash. I would do everything, whatever it took to find a letterhead or something that had the, the information on there as far as the station's, all their information written on there. And I would take that home. I would iron that letter out, press it out, white out everything off of there, and I would have this girl I know retype it up for me, to announcing to their promotion department that I'm the new DJ at the station and this and that, and I'm doing hip hop and this and that, and I need their hip hop records, and I'm gonna play them and blah blah blah, whatever. And you mail that off, you send that off to the record labels, because you've already been reading the record, the credits on the labels, I mean, you've already, I've been reading credits or whatever. You see what the addresses and stuff are and who the people that, that make those decisions. You send it to them, and then boom, like a week or two later, you got like 50, 60, 70 records that are just on your doorstep. And it's like every week. So I used to just get all these records in from the labels. I would send them to all the labels, all across, all the New York stuff, all the Miami stuff, all the California stuff, all the Midwest stuff, whatever. And, and they do that, until the point where, the A&Rs and stuff get to calling you, and they're like, hey, we have Too Short in town tonight. We wonder if you guys can, if your promotion department, you guys can take them over to the strip club. And, you come up with too many excuses, and they, then they start like, well, this guy's about some bullshit. He's not real. But by that time, you've already got almost a good year of all these brand new records. So, and like I said, I'm not proud about that. It's like, I'm older now, and it's just like, I was a savage in my younger days. I had to get it, so, I got it. So, oh yeah, man, and there's I could tell you DJ struggle stories, all night, but I'm not gonna bore you guys. I just thought I'll make myself more familiar with you guys, and like I said, I appreciate you. You even listening to this show. It's like I'm not sure why I'm putting this on, but I really enjoyed my time as an active DJ, and there's a lot of things that went on there that I want to talk about. A lot of DJs that I've met along the line that, like I said in the first episode, I do want to bring onto this show, and I'm working in the background now trying to get some of the DJs on this show, so that way, hopefully by the time I get to 10 episodes or whatever, I would have had a few on here. Working on G-Rock right now. I want him to come on the show, and then hopefully Baby G, he made a difference in my life. I doubt that I'll get a Jazzy Jeff or something like that, man. Oh my God, if I did, that'd be Christmas. That would be perfect. Or DJ Magic Mike. I've tracked Magic Mike down. He's still in the Florida area. Tracking him down, and I'm trying to get a DJ Debonair. DJ Debonair made oh my God. See that's a whole other show. That's the I guess the next show I'll do it about the mixtape. Not the mixtape, but the mega mix. See, that was back in the days, man, when DJs showed their skills by making mega mixes. So that'll probably be the next show. But like DJ Debonair, I think I've tracked him down. I think he's over in Tennessee, and I want to talk to him about that. Going from South Florida, Miami, all that fast, cutting, scratching and stuff. Now up in Tennessee, up in the Midwest, that's like a culture clash right there. So I want to talk to him about that. Like I said earlier, thank you guys very much for just letting me rant. This is very therapeutic for me because I'm like everyone else. I am COVIDly placed in my my residence, and I got to make the most of it. So I'm thinking that, man, by the time this thing's over, I'm either gonna have a movie done or a book written, or this podcast gonna be hopefully episode 100 and something or whatever. Something's gonna come out of this. So, but whatever comes out of it, it's gonna be the making, the betterment of myself. It's gonna be the making of a better me, and that's definitely what I'm gonna focus on right now. Just trying to make myself the best myself that I can be. All right, and on that note, before I screw it up, I'm gonna be out of here, and And I've talked a little bit about my uncle, Alvin James May, that was teaching me how to mobile DJ, and he's not with us anymore. He passed. I love my uncle. I miss him every day, and I thank you guys for letting me share that story with you. I have a few of those stories with my uncle. My uncle has been there for me a lot of times, and hopefully, I guess before we get to the end of this, hopefully I can mention him a few more times because he's helped me out a lot, DJ, and he taught me a lot of things. All right. Thank you very much. And until the next episode, you guys stay up. Thank you for tuning in to the Strictly Crossfade podcast with DJ Bobby D. All right.